Okay. Should be good. Um, give me a second. Oh, sorry. Uh, okay. I should be good now. Okay. So let's start with stats for the full season. Um, so in Philly, Maravich did have like a bit of a down year. But yeah, that was happening a bit in Seattle too. His scoring was just a bit down this year, but he was shooting really well. He didn't have a great playoffs, but he was still good in the regular season. John Williamson wasn't as good as last year, but he was still really good. Haywood, let's see what Haywood put up after the All-Star break. Yeah, so after Hayes was gone, Haywood was really, really good. Rookie Brad Davis, interesting. Okay. Keenan had a great year. Bridgman was really good. Eddie Johnson, the rookie. That team upsetted Philly in the first round. The Bulls. Drollinger 4 blocks per game was really surprising. Actually, he put up 3 last year, but he was like near the top of the league this year. The reigning back-to-back champs. Okay. The Celtics, yeah, they just made a trade for Sigma, so we'll see how he does. Uh, Jeff Petrie and Matt Calvin, because there wasn't really any other scorers, they did really, really well this year. Braves. Artis Gilmore, I almost gave him MVP. I had him second place. Dr. J ended up winning it, but he was really close too. Yeah, the Hawks didn't really have anything going for them at all, especially after they traded away Eddie Johnson and Eric Money. The Hornets won 49 games this year, and they just traded for the number one overall pick, Oscar Schmidt. So they should be really good next year. Kings. They were way better after the trade deadline. Same with the Knicks. Pretty sure the Knicks have a lot of free agents again this year. So see how they do with that. The Lakers. The Mavericks just drafted Nick Gallis. So I'll see how he does this year. He should be really good. Moses had a great year for the Pacers. So I think they'll start surrounding him with more pieces this year. Otis Birdsong was pretty good as a rookie. So we'll see how they surround him. Uh, they should be pretty good soon. Uh, the Grizzlies won 9 games. Top two players played really well, but everyone else was pretty terrible. Pistons. They were 1 game away from the finals this year. Which, to me, that was surprising. I didn't think they'd get very far, considering their point guard situation, but I guess Kareem is just that good. The Huskies were really surprising, especially Bernard King as a rookie. Uh, he was one of the best players in the league already, and they were 1 game away from beating the team that went out to win the championship. Rockets. Sonics were really good in the second half of the season. I think we should probably check out their second half splits because there was like a huge turnaround. Yeah, John Drew, 28 and 11 in the second half of the season. Elvin Hayes was way better in Seattle, 22, 11, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Uh, Last Kelsey wasn't really that bad. D. Gregorio was really good, 14 and 11. Shooting was a bit down, but yeah, he was really good. And then Tree Rollins, not much different, way more efficient, but his rebounds were down a bit. Uh, Kermit, finally, Boerwinkle is probably the last player I really care about. Timberwolves, Rick Barry regressed a lot this year. So did Steve Mix. Stano continues to be really good. Here's Portland. I think they're shopping Bobby Jones, so that could completely change the league. Warriors just made a trade for, or they traded for Reggie Theus and um, what's his name? Purvis Short. So those are two really good rookies. We'll see how they would do with those. And finally, the Bullets. They're pretty bad. That's all there really is to say about them. Okay, that's it for stats. And now, um, as I did last, I did it again, this year with the like when I was adjusting the intangibles rating, which doesn't affect anything. That just makes like the overalls more accurate. So, like trade negotiations are easier when you know how the actual level of play of, and it's I'm having a hard time saying this. So it's basically like if a player's underperforming relative to their overall, I'll drop their intangibles rating so their level of play won't change, but their overall will be closer to that level of play, and vice versa if they're overperforming for their overall. It basically just makes everything more accurate, and especially for like contract expectations, players will ask for like the right amount of money. So, I'll just go through every team, I guess. Starting with the Sixers, Maravich, I dropped him to a 90. He's still really good, but I don't think he's like at that 92 level anymore. So he's down to a 90. I think Spencer Haywood went up to an 88, John Williamson down to an 87. So they just kind of swap places. I think that's fair. The Bucks. Uh, oh yeah. If there's like green arrows and the red arrows pointing down, those are morale, not actual like boosts or drops. Nothing much for the Bucks. Bridgman might have went up one. I think Taylor dropped a bit, and Keenan's around the same. So the Bulls, Dantley's around the same. Drollinger's up to an 84. Frazier's around the same. Ray Williams is up. He was pretty good this year. That might be it. For the Cavs, Dr. J still at a 99. Gus Williams, Randy Smith, and Dan Roundfield are all 88s. They were really good. Dennis Johnson's an 86. Paltz is an 82. I think McMillan might have dropped a bit, but that's pretty much it. For the Celtics, Sigma, he was on a bad team, so he wasn't really talked about, but he was really, really good this year. So he's up to an 85. Petrie was one of the biggest jumps. He's up to a 79. He barely played the year before, but this year that just happened, he was really, really, really good. The Braves, Alvin Adams is at the same overall. Maxwell's up to an 82. He was really good. Gerard's up to an 81. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Phil Jackson's down to a 67. He's the worst player in the league. For the Clippers, Artis Gilmore up to a 96. He was amazing. Lionel Hollins, um, I thought about having him at like an 89, but I have him tied for the best point guard instead of like above one because like he was really good. He wasn't like super outlier though, so I thought 88 was fair. Wes 88. Wilbur Holland was amazing in the playoffs. He's up to an 85. And as you saw at the top, Artis is I think the fifth highest rating, or at least tied for that. He was absolutely amazing this year. I don't think the Hawks have a single real player on their roster. we'll just quickly scroll through them, but yeah, not really worth how much. The Heat, McGinnis 87, Earl Monroe 86. I think Palabinkus went up a bit. Pretty much it. Um, this team isn't great. They're starting Pat Riley, who's a 69 overall. Yeah, that tells you all you need to know about them. Hornets, Alex English is up a bit. Um, Joe Bryant's up a bit. He was really, really good this year. Jack Dorsey. And McAdoo's still at a 95. Jazz. Lucas was up to an 86, but that, like, the storyline thing pushed him up to an 87. Um, Not much for the Jazz. Kings. Walton's still a 98. Wilkes 90. Johnny Davis 83. There wasn't many changes with the Kings. I think most of the ratings pretty fair. Palomar might have went up like one or two. That might be it for the whole team actually. Maybe Clemens dropped a bit. He wasn't great. The Knicks, uh, Gervin's like 94. That's around fair. Tiny, he's still tied for best point guard. No point guard really had like an outlier crazy year this year. And although he wasn't great for the first half, he did pick it up in the second half. So I think it's fair to still have him tied for best. Lakers, David Thompson's a 97, Cowan's 94, Marquez Johnson's way up 87. Yeah, he was great this year. Denton is up. He was like he was one of their last productive players, so I thought he deserved to be up a bit. For the Magic, Lanier is right outside the top 10 with a 93. He was amazing, even though the team as a whole underperformed, especially in the second half of the year. Just quickly want to highlight that. Yeah, 29, 12, 4 assists, 4.4 blocks. He even started hitting his threes. Lanier was amazing this year. His team just wasn't good enough for me to put him in the top 10, but he's right outside there. Dave Logan down to a 79. Uh, yeah, he obviously deserved to go down a bit. He underperformed a lot this year. For the Mavericks, Kim Hughes and Toby Knight are up. Didn't really touch anyone else. Hill might have dropped a bit actually. Oh, Landsberger went up, but yeah, this team wasn't great. For the Nets slash Wizards, Fruity T's around the same. Doug Collins up to an 85, Lonnie Shelton up to an 84. I tried moving JoJo White up a bit, but not only wasn't he, I tried to move him up to like an 82. There just wasn't like enough ratings that didn't like without actually making him better. I couldn't really increase his rating, so he's supposed to be like an 82, but 81 isn't like too far off. I think Webster went up for this team. Yeah. The Nuggets, Lucas still in 94, Parrish still in 90. Roby Free is right outside that top point guard rating. I think he might be like fifth, fourth or fifth for point guards, which like point guard's still the weakest position by far, especially now that Maravich isn't a point guard anymore. Pacers, Moses Malone is a 92. Uh, he's in the top 15 area. Birdsong went up a bit. He was really good this year as a rookie. Oh yeah, also for the Nuggets, yeah, Parrish is up to a 90. He was really good this year too. Grizzlies, they were terrible, but Walter Davis was amazing. And it's good to know, especially the efficiency was great, even despite all the defensive attention being on him. So, uh, while he did pad his stats a bit, I think 84 is still fair. Daryl Dawkins, 82. He was great as well, but same thing with Walter Davis. I didn't feel good about putting him any higher than this, just because of the team situation. But I did think he deserved to be at least there. Pat Cummings, uh, as an incoming draft picks already their third best player. Uh, Pistons, Kareem is still 98. Uh, Bantam and Truck are tied at an 83. Truck isn't playing bad. The only reason I'm dropping him is because relative to the league, he isn't like an 85 overall, which suggests he's like close to a star level. I think he's just a good starter. So 83 is fair. Boone is an 80. Um, it's just the efficiency isn't anything great, even though volume and all that's good. I mean, maybe an 81 or 82 is more fair, but 80 isn't like too far off. For the Pistons, I think there was, yeah, Lucius Allen dropped. Uh, the efficiency got even worse, and he continues to be one of the worst passing point guards in the league. So I had to drop him. Furlow, he was like the real initiator for this team, so he deserved to. I thought he deserved to go up a bit. But still not great at anything outside of that. And passing is he isn't even great. He's like a good passer, but I mean he was probably the best perimeter initiator on a 62 win team. So I had to increase his ratings a bit. For the Huskies, I was able to get King up to a 90. He should probably be closer to like a 92, maybe even a 93. But like I couldn't. There just wasn't enough like with the same thing with like Jojo White. There just wasn't enough ratings that I could increase without actually making him better. So 90 will have to do, but he is like talent-wise, he is around a 92, 93. Brian Winters is tied for best point guard. His playmaking was even better this year, and he continues to be a crazy shooter. Uh, great player, and surprisingly was able to handle being primary initiator really, really well. Campy Russell, 83. Yeah, he was great for them. Joe Merriweather, I think, was the most efficient player in the league, and he's just really good all around. So 83 for him. Ricky Sobers, also an 83. The starting five is just really good for the Huskies, and Lars Hansen as a sixth man was really good too. So 79 for him. And here's the rest of the team. The Rockets, Camille Brabenek was insane for them. Well, not insane, but he was really, really good for them. Handled scaling up really well. Super efficient. Well, not super efficient, but he was efficient in the primary scoring role. So I felt 80 was good for him. Sonny Parker and Herrera, Long, Ford, Robin Jones, Caldwell Jones, Alan Bristow. Okay. Olberding was amazing for them. He was a huge surprise. He's about to get paid though, so yeah, contract year, had a great year. So we'll see if he can keep that up. But 85 for him. Dandridge, even though he did have a down year, a lot of that did have to do with like his minutes being down a bit. So I dropped him, but I didn't drop him too much. I think he's still like at 85 level, and with more minutes, he could definitely pick it up back. Bubbles Hawkins, 84. He was good. Lacey, 84 as well. Continues to be like I guess like the Draymond Green of this league. Just does it all except scoring for them. Norman Nixon did put up 18 and 10, but terrible shooting. Kazi's a 77, and their incoming rookie Michael Thompson's a 77. So Dan Issel was great for the Suns. He's an 89. Billy Knight, Ricky Green, Bibby, Henderson, Boyd, Stakem. Uh, Hayes up to a 90. He had a great year. John Drew, 89. Um, Thought about going a bit higher, but yeah, that passing is still a bit of an issue, so felt like 89 was fair. Di Gregorio, 81. Rollins got boosted up to an 80. I think that might be it for this team. Timberwolves, Stano, 88. Barry down to an 85. Um, his scoring wasn't great, but he still did pass and shoot at a great rate, so it didn't drop him too much. Westfall mixes down to a 78. Um, yeah. Um, Bobby Jones is still at the same rating. Uh, Buse is up a bit. Flynn, Redmond, Diaz, Short. Not much. Well, with this team, Flynn did go up a bit though. And finally, for the Bullets, didn't really do much except boost Paul Griffin because he was great. But okay, and that's every team. Once again, this doesn't affect their play at all, just for more realistic ratings, which like not like more realistic contracts, I mean. So like when they're free agents, they ask for money actually close to how they're playing and their stats. And also just like helps to visualize who are the best player in the leagues if you're scrolling down. But they will still play like the same players unless progs change them or just like sheer variance makes them play differently. But yeah, I haven't actually edited any of their like main ratings and stuff, so shouldn't affect too much. Um, and yeah, that's it for the stream. Thanks for tuning in. And oh yeah, free agency run through. Um, it looks like I can't really see it right now, so I'll do like that separately. Once I can see that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in and thanks for participating.